What do you think, Finn? We're gonna catch a few fish. What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of 10 Horse My YouTube channel. We got 3 hours to fish. It's Mother's Day. It is Mother's Day. I know, it's pretty ballsy, but my wife was kind enough to let me get out of the house for like 3 hours. I've been working on our new house all week long and needed a little break. So Finn and myself jumped in the boat and we are out here on the local pond. There's a bluegill spawn going. Just talked to a guy at the boat ramp. He's been catching some crappie. They're starting to move up, but we are gonna target these bluegill beds. It's something that starts happening like April, and basically these bluegills will spawn, you know, new moon, full moon. So, you know, 6-7 times throughout the summer, all the way through probably September. So it seems like the first couple bluegill spawns are the best because the bass spawn is still going on and they kind of mix. So you got these post spawn bass that are starting to get hungry, and you got this influx of bluegill that are up shallow, and they kind of just collide. So you can catch some really big fish just running around targeting these bluegill beds. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna kind of keep it simple. I'm gonna be throwing a topwater like a frog, maybe a popper. A swim jig is another bait that I like to throw around these bluegill beds, and then a wacky rig, and then we'll have something that we can flip and pitch in there, like a brush hog or maybe a boxer call from Gambler. I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna have rigged up. Maybe a Cinco too. It's hard to beat a Cinco, not only on the wacky rig, but Texas rig. So we're gonna get after it. We don't have much time. It's the conditions. Water temp's like 77 degrees. Pretty warm. Got a really light breeze, and there was a bunch of storms this morning. There's storms this afternoon. Just kind of one of those days where it's gonna be partly cloudy and then the sun's gonna peep out. Right now it's pretty much full sunshine. Air temps are like mid-70s, and it's very humid out here. And Finn is kind of struggling. She's breathing hard, but I've got her little doggy house set up right there, if you can see in there. A little spot where she can slide under there if she needs to get out of the sun. So I'll put this camera down, see if we can catch a few fish before we run out of time. Happy Mother's Day, y'all. There we go. All right, topwater fish. I threw a frog for a little bit down this bank, and I'll pick it back up a little bit, but I thought, you know, there's not a lot of grass. There's grass deeper, but it's not submerged by any means, so you can still work a traditional topwater. You don't have to go to a frog yet if you don't want to. I mean, skipping up under stuff, yeah, frog's nice. In certain parts of the lake, yeah. But, I mean, that fish wasn't coming off. He is pegged. I had the back hook, and that front hook just swung around and snatched him up. But good fish. Old jerkbait, man. Shout out to Dave Holm. Every time I throw a choke bug, I think of Dave, because he's the one that kind of got me back into throwing this bait, and it's a good one. So there we go. Fun times. Oh God, that was a big bass. I blew it. Pull away from him. Got him that time. God, that was a good fish. Dude, missed him twice, and I've had a couple of looks, and that's it on the top water. So I rigged up a little yum dinger, wacky rigged, and then I've got my swim jig. There's no wind. I think I can still catch more swim jig even though there's no wind. I like a little bit of wind, but we're gonna throw this chug bug just a little bit more, and we're gonna start skipping a wacky rig around. Don't have a lot of time. So I've got probably, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 more places I want to go check real quick. hopefully, one of those places. You know, I fished a whole side of a cove. You know, probably, I don't know, 1,000-yard stretch, and I had, you know, 3 bites basically. So bluegill beds aren't everywhere. You just got to kind of cover a lot of water, and you're looking for a few bites. There he is. Wacky rig. I saw him swimming around that bluegill bed. See him scoot up underneath the shadow. Get up in here, Buster. Oh, he got my worm. Dang it. Right in the top of the snoot, though. Look at that. Hooked that sucker right where he's supposed to. He threw my worm. I was playing around with him. I mean, should be using those collars, but I left them at the house. Just still focusing on these bluegill beds. I'm seeing several fish that are kind of cruising. That's something that starts happening this time of year. And I've messed with a couple of them and they just don't want anything. So it seems like you're better off just going down the bank looking for little shade pockets and just I'm skipping a little wacky rig now. Just kind of mixing it up with a bunch of different things. And I don't know, it's the first one I've caught on this. It's a new rod I'm fishing. This is the Retrieval Cura. This is an all-purpose spin, 7'2". Medium heavy. Kind of liking it. I mean, I typically fish a medium, but this is kind of in between a medium and a medium heavy. But you could fish a jig on this for sure. It's got enough backbone to it, but it pulled that fish out of the grass. You'll see how it does on a big catfish or a big 5-pounder. Bluegill beds right here. Yeah. Bluegill. Not really what we're trying to catch. I mean, we're trying to fish around these guys. I'm trying to catch them though. Little bluegills. That's what we're fishing around right there, guys. Little bluegill beds. We're just kind of filling it out. Just kind of filling it out. You know, I'm really looking. They seem to be in these little, you know, I like these little cuts like this, but they spawn everywhere. You just gotta look. They're typically just a little bit back in these coves, but I mean, they can still spawn in the main lake pockets. Any place a bass spawn, bluegill spawn, and actually more places. So you kind of just gotta cover water when you see some bluegills. Make an extra few casts and just keep moving. We're just kind of covering water, having a look. I've been keeping the shell bug in my hand, and I've had opportunity to have a really good one. It was like 4+ pound fish. Another one. Got a fish. It's more than that shade. Still got my worm on there. So I cast out of there, and you know, like wacky rig bite, a lot of times you just kind of lose the worm. It's a good fish. Real good fish. My line just kind of went slack, and that's what you want, man. It's a nice fish. Get this sucker in and have a look at her. He's hooked pretty good. Top of the mouth. Hold on. There we go. More of that fish. There we go. Look at that. I mean, this is a VMC weedless Neko hook. It's got 2 little mono weed guards on there. It doesn't look like much, and it's actually kind of cocked sideways. But that's enough to kind of crawl it through that grass. Good quality fish. Just fishing a 5-inch Yumdinger. June bug. I mean, Yum makes some really good products, and they're cheap. But that's not cheap quality, just inexpensive. So you can go through some of them. That fish is healthy, man. Post spawner, but starting to feed back up. Nothing wrong with that fish. And I'm throwing it on that's that same rod, the Jewel, Virtus Jewel all-purpose spin. with 15-pound high vis yellows. It's just Power Pro, and I've got it tied on a 10-pound leader fluorocarbon. What is this? I think it's just that cheap, that economic, not cheap, but that new cigar that they just came out with. I can't remember the stuff. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. It's like 10 bucks a spool. Basics, I think it's called Basics 101 or something. Oh, missed him. Go around all these worms. I don't think that was a bluegill. Right in this little corner, there's a bluegill. There's another one. It might be a bluegill. Nope. That's another good bass, guys. Got a bed over here. Got some bluegill beds over here, and there's some really nice bass relating to them. Haven't seen this one. Oh yeah, it's a good fish. Strong. I think I'm digging this spinning rod. Yeah, that's a good fish. That's a good fish, Finn. Found a little group of them. Let's get her in here. The wacky rig's paying off. I think we're gonna stay in this pocket a little more. Probably quit talking to my jinx myself. Get in here. Get in here. There we go. Look at that. Little post-spawn bass. Can't even see that worm. Fish ate it. Had 2 bites, 3 bites right there. I missed the second one. I caught the first one. Post-spawn bass, you know. Abs of steel. But feeding up around these bluegill beds, it's fun. So I'm just targeting, like I said earlier, I'm just targeting these bluegill beds, and I've been mixing up a popper or a frog, and it seems like they're wanting a wacky rig now, so we're gonna run with it a little bit more. You know, one thing I don't really talk a whole lot about because it's kind of boring, but that's sunglasses. A really good pair of polarized sunglasses when you're fishing shallow around the spawn, skipping that wacky rig, pitching, whatever, is crucial. I've been using these Bahio sunglasses for the last couple years. The rose lens for kind of sunny days, actually basically any condition, the rose works great, and then the violet for low light conditions. And they're a really good sunglass company. The lenses are, I mean, they don't hurt my eyes. They're very, very comfortable, and I can see really good in the water. And that's the key with a good pair of polarized sunglasses, is being able to see those laydowns that come out a little bit deeper than you could see without your eyes or with the cheap pair of sunglasses. The little stumps, the little grass edges, you can see the beds really good. I mean, you can see the bluegill swimming around the beds. Any kind of movement, a good pair of sunglasses is going to help you pick that up. Just thought I'd drop that because, I don't know, it's kind of like a boring topic. Nobody wants to talk about sunglasses. It's not as exciting as like cool crankbaits or these neat plastic baits with all these different cool legs, but it's a very, very critical part of fishing, and it's protection for your eyes, not just from the sun, but also if you set the hook and you miss a fish and your bait comes flying back, you want sunglasses, because that's going to keep that hook from getting you in the eye. Oh my God. Oh, I missed him. That was another big fish. I didn't get a hook in him. God, that was awesome. That fish just took off. Man, they're strong. Another good fish. Oh, can't keep you up this time. I ain't getting it right. Frogs. Come here. Come here, I'll do that. Gotcha. Here we go, folks. Wacky, man. Oh, that's so fun. Man, these have all been really nice fish. I have not caught any dinks or anything, which is kind of odd because I mean I'm seeing little fish. I'm seeing like 6 and 8 and 10-inch bass, but we catching better quality fish with this wacky rig. I've thrown a swim jig a little bit, and I just can't get them to commit to that. And you know, bottom line is, when you're throwing this sucker around and the fish is eating it, you gotta keep throwing it, man. Don't fight it. Don't fight the feeling. Got a little bit more time. A little bit more time. See if we can catch another one. This is fun. I love testing out a new rod. You know, and it's like you go to the lake a lot of times with intentions and I guess expectations, which I don't like expectations, but intentions, technique, a way the fish should be biting. It doesn't happen. Well, today it is happening. I mean, I wanted to kind of test out this new rod, and they've got to be biting this to test it out. Sure enough, we are definitely getting to test it out. I'm happy with it. You know, most of my spinning rods are medium. This is a medium heavy, and I think I'm becoming a fan of a medium heavy rod. I haven't tried it with a drop shot or a shaky head. Shaky head's gonna be perfect. Drop shot and maybe too heavy, but I don't even know. I was thinking it was too heavy for the wacky rig, but it's not. It's just perfect. Really trying to key in on the shade. Seems like most of my bites have been around shade today. See some little bass swimming around. We got some laydowns up here. I haven't really been catching them relating to wood. It's just been kind of back to these little pockets like this. And it's not saying they're not on wood, because you know, bass are always on wood. It doesn't seem to be a critical element. We certainly don't throw at them. Uh-oh. Got one on there. Oh, big, hiding back there in the shadows. Nice. I really think the deal is, it's a nice fish. This rod, I am digging this rod. I think I've been fishing too light of a rod. Right back there in the shadows. John Cox will be proud of me. John Cox and Keith Carson will be proud of me. Skipping that little wacky rig around. I'm digging this rod. I really am. It's cool when you get a new rod in it. That actually exceeds your expectations. There, Buster. That fish ate it. That's a nice fish. Another nice fish on the old wacky jaggy. Go, folks. Man, this is fun, dude. This is fun. We're just getting around these bluegill, man. Just skipping that little wacky rig around there. And I mean, they're, look at that, they're eating it. Your line just goes slack, and you know something's got it. You don't know if it's a bluegill or if it's a really nice bass like that. Good times, man. Good times. Let's see if we can catch another one. There he is. Figures. The little one would knock my worm off. Little peewee. We'll count you though. We'll count you. Seen about 6 or 7 like this swimming around, a little wolf pack of them. But I did see a big one. We're gonna try to snatch that big one. fun, man. Playing around with these post-spawn bluegill bed fish. There he is. Get out of that grass. Sucker got me in the grass. Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Man, what a day. What a day. I mean, for such a short trip, tons of nice fish. These post spawners up here shallow, just doing their thing, man. That's the deal. That's fun. A wacky rig, man. Yes, sir. And I think skipping it is really key. Another good fish. Look at that tail. Skipping versus just lob casting, there's something to it. I know we had Dion Hibden on the live stream, which, by the way, if you haven't checked out the live stream, they're Monday nights at 8 o'clock. A lot of great guests on there. Got a lot of good stuff coming up. But Dion Hibden was on there a while back, and he was talking about skipping a jig, and it's just a natural presentation. Instead of something just kind of coming out of the air and bloop, coming straight in. When you're skipping something, it's like a fleeing shad or a fleeing minnow. And I really think that with a wacky rig, making those little underhand roll skips is key. It doesn't spook the fish. These fish are up there really shallow. Most of these fish have been in less than 3 foot of water. And if I would just bloop cast them in there, I'm gonna scare a lot of those fish. But skipping it is just a natural presentation. It skitters, it throws a little spray, it gets their attention, they kind of come over and look at it, and then it stalls out and just has a natural fall. And I mean, I really think that's the way to go when you're throwing a wacky rig. Uh-oh, bite. It is a bite. That's a good one. He's got me in those stumps. Dang, boy. That's a good fish. Man, I'm digging this rod. I'm digging this rod. Come on, baby. Let's get in the stumps. Oh, yeah. That's a good one. No, 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 no. Oh, no, come on. Stay out of the stump, stay out of the stump, stay out of the stump. Don't you do that, you freaking turd. How did you know that? Fish went right on that stump. I think he got me off. No, he's still there. Let's shoot my leader. Still there. God. I think he's still there. Oh yeah, he's still there. Still don't know how to get him. I don't even know where he's at. Exactly. It's a good fish. Stupid, I should have just kept him coming. Alright, buddy. Swim on. You got him. Still in there. I think he's underneath that lay down right there. Come on, man, I just want to look at you. Is he around that thing? Getting a little movement on him. Oh yeah, I see him down there. He's wrapped around that right there. He's probably all around that thing by now. Pin. That's a good fish. Sitting there looking at him. Can't get to him though. I can almost reach him. got me all around this thing. Oh, we got him. Freaking miracle. He just wore out. Ah. How about them apples, boys? Look at there. Hey, that sucker got me wrapped up and wrapped up in his cab. That's a good fish, man. Thanks for coming along, man. We had a short day, but we managed to get some pretty nice quality fish just chasing these bluegill beds. You know, I'm in a backup pocket and there's bluegill everywhere. You know, that wacky rig ended up being the deal. Loving these rods. The Virtus Jewel Akura rod. Cool thing about this rod, it's an American made rod, and percentage of the sales go to the American Autism Society. So great cause, great rod, great people. Give me a thumbs up if you appreciate the content, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Till next time, that's fun, man. Just find them bluegill beds, skip your little wacky rig up there. Life is good. Man, that's fun. That was intense. Way to end the day. Shannon, what do you think about that? What do you think about that? That's a nice fish, man. That's a nice fish. Good solid fish, man. Let's let her go. Let's let her go. Ben's hot. Get on out of here, baby. The fish had me all wrapped up. You gonna jump for us? Thank you. Thanks for swimming off. You'll be just fine. That was fun. Good times, man. Good times.